Welcome, everyone. This is Polyphenol's, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at latest in LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week, I'm joined by Krister,
Hello.
Cinders,
Hello.
and Sanswinda.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Are you ready for more release notes?
I'm ready this time. The last ones weren't bad. I feel good. I feel confident. I feel a little bit of self-esteem. So I'm assuming that we're probably going to spend the next 7 hours over release notes. Now
No,
that
no,
I've
no,
said
no,
all
no.
that.
That one
Woo!
will be in 2 weeks.
Okay. Oh, good. I have a couple weeks to prepare myself.
I thought you were going to say, oh, good, I can plan my absence.
That's right. Well, that's even better than what I was thinking. Thanks, Cinders.
No. He's got to give his first impressions of the new expansion when it comes out.
Oh,
right?
Right. Yes.
I have
we're
a
all going to
release
be doing
note induced brain shroud.
that. These are good.
All right. Anyway, these are the Bulwer release notes. This is for Kingdoms of Parade beta number 6. And once again, I saw no sign of the instances in there. I'm just wondering what's happening to them. They must be having trouble getting them all ready for testing and stuff like this because time is starting to tick. Anyway, on the burglar, they corrected a typo in the trait no subtlety. For the Guardian, I'm sure Cinders will love this one. Shield Swipe becomes a 180-degree frontal arc skill. It loses tracery bonuses associated with single target and gains tracery bonuses associated with area of effect. Initial range is 4.8 and initial targets are 5.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's not nearly as exciting as the previous one on there, the 10% max morale. But it is really nice that Shield Swipe is going to be, it sounds like maybe more effective.
Well, you use Shield Swipe quite a bit, I thought.
Yep, I do, because it helps build aggro. And also keeps things attention. I guess those are the same thing.
Yeah.
But they feel like two different things sometimes.
It makes them angry and they make them want to keep on hitting you.
Yes.
Yeah, attention is passive. Aggro is angry.
Right.
Okay. Oh, well. For missions and delvings, for boss encounters which reset players' skill cooldowns upon failure or completion, this reset mechanic will now include Ethlon tokens, scrolls of warding lore, and scrolls of battle lore. So therefore, your scrolls
Hallelujah.
cooldowns will now be reset.
Yes. So every time
no having to wait however many minutes.
Yep. That's going to make group content much nicer, as well as individual content.
Yeah, it is a pain waiting 15 minutes after the wipe.
Right, especially if everybody wipes and you wipe quickly each time. You can really click through everybody who has them and then be sitting there like, we still have 5 minutes till we can do this again.
For items and rewards, various quests and deeds now directly award enhancement runes appropriate to their content level rather than packages. Okay. Yes, because right now there are a lot of quests, that give rewards that are package runes instead of it has. I think that the reason for this one is so that when you complete the quest, you get the rune that's appropriate for the level that the quest was. Because I know I have I have a character that's getting close to the next level because I have a level, say 80. Well, actually, just turned 86, but the character was 85 for a while. Of course, getting enhancement runes for the. Sometimes you will get rewards that are says this is a max level 85 rune instead of giving you the rune directly, and sometimes you will get the generic package that would be whichever one you do at the opening time. Yeah, we'll see how this works. But this does go on to the next item. Enhancement. Okay, I should tell you this that there is an adjustment to what I say. First, I'm going to say what was I think is what was originally there, and then there's a note below that. It says enhancement rune packages that grant runes scaled to your character level are now stamped with max contents level matching the world level cap when the package is acquired. But they put a note after this. Enhancement runes and tracery packages acquired following the release of Update 46 will grant items that scale to your character level, and these packages will be stamped with the max contents level matching the level cap at the time the package is acquired. Enhancement runes and tracery packages that you have already acquired will not be changing with Update 46, because there was a huge amount of backlash because either they originally thought or the first draft of it was taking the ones already in your inventory, flagging those as being the old cap. And as a result of, obviously some people were saving the runes for the update. And
Yeah, I could see a backlash occurring in that.
Yeah. Now, Saints Games, and while Saints Games that is, of course, the intent of the whole thing, but of course, announcing it this late into the process is sort of like where they felt that things were a little bit, because here it is just 2 weeks before the release, and now they're saying, oh yes, now if you open up a package, all those ones that you've been saving or something like this, now they're suddenly are going to be to the old cap, and you're not going to use them even though you've been spending the last few weeks running content, trying to accumulate them. So yeah, some people were a little bit upset about this. So Stone Games then decided, all right, since there wasn't a pre-announcement in this thing, then they're not going to have it affect this update. But anything in the future is going to be marked with that you acquire after December 3rd is going to be marked as with the level cap at the time you acquire it. So that's it on the items and rewards items. So PvP and the Entmores. The updated the level scaling effect for Burglar and Mariner to reflect that it enhances both classes. An updated level scaling effect for Champions and Brawlers to reflect that it enhances both classes. I have no idea what they're talking about in this relating to PvP. And for preview, actually, no, I skip preview only things because that's not relevant for what's going to be in the.
You're kind?
What?
You skip them because you're kind?
No, because it's about the Isengard Tavern.
Yeah,
as in the
eyes. Tavern doesn't affect the live worlds. Yes.
Guard. Yeah.
Also, in commenting on the enhancement runes, Gwenda says, because people were banking stuff since they extended the rewards track, and the players were making margaritas with the salt. When they tried to change it. She's not wrong.
Yeah, okay, you get a point.
I was reading the ploy chats, and I was like, ooh. It's quite the take.
Okay, you were banking stuff since they extended the reward track. Yes, I guess you get a point there. Yes.
Well, yeah, especially like knowing that you have to start redoing everything in 2 weeks. There's not much point opening it right now.
Yep.
Yeah, there is that. Well,
and if I had baked a whole bunch and spent hours on it and then they were going to change it up, I'd have been very salty too.
Well, actually, I've been using my rewards, though, not mainly for banking, but because I was trying to get my champion up to a playable level in there. So therefore, I was taking a different strategy because I have too many high-level alts. But yeah, someone who has only 1 or 2 high-level alts, I could see that they were probably banking them.
Yeah, like I would have banked for M and Cinders because Those are the two that I play. Everything else that I'm currently playing is just too low level for it to even matter. They're not even level 30 yet.
Yeah. All right. So then let's see what we have on our rest of our game news, where they have announced that the questing coupon has been extended. Yes, the free questing coupon. Thank you from Standing Stone Games. We would like to. This was originally. I forgot what the original date at which they had as the ending, but it's been extended through December 7th. So you have only, was it 2, maybe 3 weeks left? Yeah, it looks like about 3 weeks left in this before it goes away in here. So if you haven't used the Questing Explore Your World coupon yet, we're getting near the last opportunity to do so. This
You
is
have
especially used
2 weeks and a day from today.
2 weeks and a day. All right. Yep. 2 weeks and a day. So your last 2 weeks in order to use the Explore Your World coupon, 1 per account, of course, available through December 7th. And this will allow you to have all these nice quest packs in there. This is also nice for secondary accounts if you are one of the people who has them. I believe, Sans, you have a secondary account or two, I think?
Yes.
Finally, when the next big battle for Middle Earth occurs, I will call on my ally Sans to supply the thousands upon thousands of tunes we will need for our army.
And she will happily oblige. Pull them out, dust them off, and then go, their inventory.
Yeah, I can barely manage one character.
She'll get them out, open them up, and then their bags will be so full she'll be like, nope.
That's not okay. So, yeah, that is the worst thing about it.
Just to hold overflow from my main characters so that their inventories were usable.
Yeah. And even
no hoarding problems here, though, I'm sure.
Nope.
It seems like it runs in the family.
I know nothing about this problem. No idea where you would get the idea I might hoard stuff in my inventory from.
The first rule of Horde Club is you don't talk about Horde Club.
You don't talk about Horde Club.
Does it count as hoarding if it's all in chests in Stardew Valley?
It most definitely does. That's what I was thinking of.
Her argument, it's not in my pocket, so I'm not hoarding it. Just made me think of I can think of a dozen other places you could be hoarding it, though.
Well, same thing happens on LOTRO, too. So we were playing earlier this week, and or maybe it was last week, we were doing crafting stuff, and I was telling the guys, let me know if you need any crafting materials. And Ost was just like, you have a crafter? What materials don't you need? I was like, no, I don't have any crafters on this server. I've just been collecting all the crafting items just in case. So let me know if you need anything. I might have enough to help you.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and had to empty my inventory because I couldn't get a quest reward. Rude.
Okay.
Where I had a concierge then and a concierge don't to hold my extra housing stuff for transfer, so she has no room to talk. Yep. 1 and 2.
Yeah, understood. All right, let's then head into our store sales where you might get more stuff to fill up your inventory. And Cinders, what's on sale this week?
On sale this week, and it will fill your inventory. It is your final weekend to get the Patrons Coffer of the Gilded Caravan in the LOTRO store. It is available through tomorrow. So if you are not listening live, you are going to miss out by the time this goes live on Monday, but on the webpage. So you can also start a new journey, and this might help with some of your problems. You can get 20% off of character slots to make that extra alt to hold all your stuff. Veteran status, stat packages, and XP boosts through November 27th, as well as the weekly coupon for Navy Die with the coupon code Icy Winter through November 27th.
All right. Thank you, Cinders. And just note that next week's store sales will be the Black Friday sales. So that means they will probably start a couple of days early, or at least a day early, because usually they put the Black Friday sales starts on Wednesday so that no one in Sandstone Games has to be there on Thanksgiving Day in order to prepare the sales. So expect some super sales next week. Maybe a choose your own. Do they do the choose your own personage thing on Black Fridays, or is that a different time when they do that? I guess we'll find out next week when we announce what the actual sales are, but they're probably going to be following the usual pattern they have for Black Friday sales. So if you remember what they did last year, it's probably going to be something close to that. Now let's have some news beyond LOTRO. It's been a while since we've done this section in here. And in here, Draculetta, our resident writer who wrote a review of A Shadow and a Song, reviewing the Lord of the Rings role-playing 5e. Now, this is the version that is being done by Free League Publishing, because originally there was a Lord of the Rings role-playing game that had been done by the previous holder of the license. Ooh, let's see. By the One Ring. So when the ones who made the One Ring role-playing game also did a 5e version of the same world on that, but they lost the license. The license is now in Free League Publishing. So they have just released. They had done their equivalent of the One Ring, the one in their own system already, but now they're coming out with the 5e version of the same thing. So doing something similar to what they to what the One Ring used to do. So he goes through this, talking about his opinions on the thing. Seems to be in many ways similar to the One Ring's version, since this is a re-implementation of what was there before.
Well, reading it, I actually was kind of interested. I think I would like to play this. It's definitely different than the Adventures in Middle Earth version that I've played previously.
In what way is it different?
Well, maybe it was just how we played it. More so.
I think it might have been how we played it.
It might have been how we played it, but reading through this, I'm like, oh, this seems like it's more, a little bit more serious, a little bit more involved in, like, I don't remember, like, really having, like, a fellowship phase, or having things really hurt our endurance and hope, or things like that.
Oh,
so,
we never got to that part.
Yeah,
it's like he doesn't.
Was what happened. Anyhow,
I would like to. Yeah, I know he didn't like the. I know Drac does not like the journey rules, because in fact, I think he always skipped them whenever we were doing the journey rules. I think he would skip them.
Yeah, that would make sense. Anyhow, but it seems from reading the description that it might be slightly different, but without pulling both of them back out and looking at them, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
but I was like, oh, yeah, I'd be interested in reading and playing this. But
as long as he doesn't have us burn down a forest again.
Right? And probably I shouldn't be allowed to weaponize pies.
That tells you, what direction we were going. I think it's usually allowed you to do that.
Well, I'm not sure if it was allowed to do it so much as I was like, I'm doing this. And he was like, let's just see how this goes. And then it went in interesting directions.
Interesting direction.
Yeah, throwing one at Terry was not my best move. It worked, but it almost killed her.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Terry, if you hear this.
So
I'm
instead of
so
a-
penitent.
Instead of a whipped cream pie, you had like a thermonuclear fireball pie or something, or
Like fresh out of the oven. Yeah.
ooh, that
berry
would do
pie
it.
of
Yeah,
some
that would be
sort
bad.
with the liquid, the boiling hot liquid. Yeah. We didn't
I
really
have to admit
define
that would
it.
be
We just
that's an
kind of.
interesting character concept. Yeah, that you have healing pies too. So you,
I
even though
did.
you're humiliating people by hitting them in the face with a pie, you're healing them.
So I had throwing pies and I had pocket pies and I had
Throwing
just
pies.
like snacking pies. Yeah, the pies that were made for throwing were the ones that were designed to hurt people. Where it says interesting directions, the Cinder's weaponized pie story. Yes. My character in Merlina had a thing with pies.
Did you have a one pie?
I did not have anything called a one pie.
One pie to rule them all, and in the
Oh, yeah.
darkness to find them.
Right?
That
Yeah.
feels like it would be a banana cream pie.
I feel like, though, from the whole thing, like my biggest takeaway was we had a lot of food fights. Lots of food fights.
Apparently.
And not just because I was throwing pies. That just happened to come out of multiple food fights.
Well, you think that all food fights just evolve eventually into throwing pies? I would think that that would be the end result.
Yes,
because
if there
they're
were pies
dessert.
accessible. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you're finishing up with dessert.
All right. Let's now go into. Oh, the one pie was the object of the quest. Okay, yes. Thank you, Ware. In our news beyond LOTRO, next step is the DDO in LOTRO and in the EG7 Q3 2025 report. So Drac decided to go into the numbers relating to DDO and LOTRO and EG7 in there. And first thing he told us was the overall picture, EG7's finances for Q3 2025, which were not exactly great. They seem to have been net revenue fell about 16% in there on EG7, but apparently Daybreak Games was not where the bulk of that was, because Daybreak Games, they had a net decline of 15. Well, only 15. Actually, that was about 7% or 15%, depending on which currency you did the calculations in. While their top lines, gross revenue, well, it looks like their gross revenue was a little bit more on the even side. It's just the net revenue was a little bit off on there. Now, concerning LOTRO and DDO, this was a third quarter report. They're thinking that this was not exactly the best time for LOTRO, because LOTRO, of course, has this expansion is fourth quarter. So therefore, it would have been probably about, so it wasn't exactly at the highest sales point in LOTRO. And DDO, because the raid hasn't been released yet on there, they're expecting maybe things could be spiked a little bit for the fourth quarter over there. But anyway, so the notes that Drac gives are DDO's stability. The report noted that Dungeons & Dragons Online has a positive impact on player activity following its new server launch in July, and that the Lamornia expansion in August. While this drove engagement, the revenue recognition of the expansion is likely spread into Q4. That helped to mitigate the Q3 decline in the rest of the area. And LOTRO's holding pattern, because LOTRO, along with DDO and DC Universe Online, was identified as one of the three big annual expansions that were scheduled for release around the Q4 area. This indicates that the Stone Games team was in the final push for the expansion. like goes on that's going on here. You can get the full words on here because unfortunately, all this financial stuff sometimes looks a little like gobbledygook to me. We do have a link in the show notes to this if you're really interested in this. But the net thing is that EG7 didn't have its best quarter in all this. Looks like Daybreak was doing better than the rest of EG7.
I just skipped down
And
to the very last paragraph where he summarizes all of that other stuff.
oh yes, okay. Both DD and LOTRO are executing their annual cycles. You mean?
Yes.
Yeah, their annual cycles, proving their sustained value as the most reliable cash generating bedrock for the entire EG7 portfolio.
I just scrolled down. It was like, oh, that's what all that means. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah, that's what it comes down. Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to is that we're sort of like pulling the rest of the company, which, can always be a problem sometimes if something happens to the parent company. But I don't think it's like they're completely a parent company. I've never did quite. I think they're handling the publishing to it. I think is what Daybreak and EG7 handle in there. Oh, so I don't. I guess there's the entire question is who publishes it if something happens to EG7 or Daybreak, because you sometimes can have a lot of trouble if you have a studio that's doing something, but there's no one there to publish the thing.
Yeah.
So let's hope things will pick up on that department. Let's then look at the third item in here. Now, this third item was from a couple weeks back, but I had missed it in there, and that is that concerning Lord of the Rings MMO projects, because there had been these rumors a few years back about Amazon having their Lord of the Rings MMO. Well, it sounds like that is the last nail has been hit in the coffin on that, and that Amazon has completely canceled their Lord of the Rings MMO project. So there isn't going to be a second Lord of the Rings MMO. So if you want to play an MMO in Middle Earth, it looks like LOTRO is going to remain the only choice in the matter. So let us then head for that into our week in gaming. Krister, what were you up to?
Well, this week was a little more active than it has been in prior weeks, but I have been fully consumed by Mega Bonk. So I was doing some Mega Bonking. Played. Sorry, I'm having a technical difficulty. Played so a little bit of LOTRO. I just wanted to get Krister, kind of take a look at him, make sure he's good to go, because of course the level cap increase is quickly approaching. And so I was in the with the catacombs beneath Umbar, and I said, "Hey, you know what? I opened the new coffer. I tried on the new weapons aura, and I said I need to take this out for a test drive." So I went out, and the first thing I saw was this rat's nest, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? I'll just crush this rat's nest really quick, and then I'll go about my business." And I ran over to the rat's nest and started attacking it. And I was kind of
Which one?
and I was kind of I was kind of listening to some something on YouTube. So I'm kind of listening to that, and I'm attacking and going through my routine. And then I look up and I go, I'm at half health. How many rats are here? And I realize that there's like between 30 and 40 rats. And I am engaged in this desperate life or death combat at this point. So I think I wisely back off from the rat's nest, pull the horde of rats I had accumulated, and slowly wore them down. So, unfortunately, being in yellow line, I was the main attack was just simply boring them to death with some stories of my youth, and just slowly they all passed away. So
That's
yeah,
kind of
that was
actually impressive that you managed that.
Well, and the other thing, of course, was looking at the rat's nest and going, hey, that has 1,000,000 hit points, and I haven't done a single point of damage to it.
And it keeps spawning them at like regular intervals. It spawns more of them. Where it says,
Yes.
eaten alive by
Yes, it
rats.
does.
The Krister story. Cue Monty Python sound clip. Run away, run away, run away. And I was like, oh, you went moping
Exactly.
about.
Yeah, so I chose poorly, I think would be the best way to sum that up.
I am surprised that you.
Leaf and I have
you chose that
encountered that rat's
location.
nest. Yeah, that section of Umbar Milk is not the most hospitable to classes that don't have great DPS.
Yeah, it was
would not get through
I
it
felt like a
without
very
kindness.
Krister moment.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
not hospitable to soloing either.
You can solo it on a lore master pretty easily, and I believe you can solo it on a hunter relatively easily if you're paying attention. Champions,
It
I think,
depends
can
a
do it.
lot on your
Brawlers
gear and
can do
setup.
it. But
My brawler cannot do it yet.
my guardian can stay alive, but nothing dies. Those rats just keep coming. And you must have gone to the first rat's nest, which is the safest one to have done that on.
Yeah, it's right. It was
Just
like
right
across
across
the
the
bridge, right
bridge.
out of the door. Yep.
Yep. That would be
Yeah,
the.
so
That was the best one to try that on. The one with the spiders, you'd have croaked. Yeah, should you
speak
decide
for-
you want to do that?
speak for yourself.
Mm.
It's been so many times Krister has heard, oh no, he's dying. Oh no, Krister's going to go down. Oh no, Krister this. And I didn't. So yeah, I could take those spiders on. I don't care what you say.
Okay, so
I don't care
I
what
would
you
like
think.
to see
See,
that.
short people
I would be
as short as you
tempted
don't
to
understand
pay
it. Okay.
to see that. That would be worth. That
No,
would be worth the ticket.
Cinders. He did not
Shorties
promise
don't
he would
understand.
kill them all. He promised he was not going to die. There is a
Oh,
difference.
I know,
Yes.
but I happen
that's
to
right.
know.
I didn't say I was
I've
going to
seen-
kill them all.
I have seen that spider, that particular one with the spider. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'd really like to see how you handle that.
Oh boy. The Gauntless
I
has
think he's
control.
been there.
I've been in
don't
that
think-
position many times.
Just
Yep.
a lot
I
more
don't
fun with
think
a group.
he's done that. It is much more fun with a group, but I would like to see that.
No, see, we're not talking about having fun. We're talking about surviving.
I know. I'm just saying I would like to see him deal with the matron and that rat's nest simultaneously. That would be
Feels like you're
impressive.
almost wishing harm upon Krister.
No,
And that's what
I just
Krister
think
does to
you
other
don't
people.
know. I just think you have no idea what you're talking about. And I would be very interested to see how that plays out. Because if you could pull it off, that would be very, very impressive. Claire says she wants you to screen share, and we all want to watch this.
I bet he could definitely hit the matron and that rat's nest and run away.
He could hit them and run away. Many of us have done that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there's no harm in running away.
There is no
In
harm
fact,
in
you have
running
to have
away.
a specific skill for that.
Yeah, if I hit the matron and ran away, I would probably actually make a bad turn and run into a dead end, and then be facing the matron roaring
right.
down at me and chewing my head off.
Run into the waterfall. And
He's
get
desperately looking for my desperate flight and probably build a campfire or something instead.
Okay.
That's awesome. All right, so and then the other thing is with my old school D&D group, we have been doing this. I didn't think I would even bother mentioning it, but it's a Boot Hill adventure, and I am creating an adventure where we're going to be going into the northern part of South America, into the jungles, into this. It's going to be a combination of Indiana Jones and the Lost City of Z. And so I've been working on that
Nice.
adventure. It's been pretty fun.
Okay, I guess I always thought of Boot Hill as southwestern U.S., but it does have adventures also in South America.
Well, we take
Or you just modified it for it.
Exactly, yeah. So our first big adventure was in New Orleans, And we found some artifacts, and the idea behind this particular group is it's a group of people that have encountered supernatural events in their lives, and they kind of brought them together as a group. But this last adventure was their first true confrontation with tangible supernatural forces, and so the idea behind it is this really galvanizes them into understanding that they really are here to fight against this evil. And so the next adventure is going deep into this jungle to.
Hold on. Is this Boot Hill or Call of Cthulhu?
Well, it could be. That's what I'm saying. We're using the Boot Hill universe, and then we're going out to South America. So it's kind of the idea is that we could, the idea is that everybody's going to rotate through being the DM, and that each adventure can take place anywhere in the world. Basically, we're our home base is a steamship, so we can be in any part of the world doing an adventure. But we just happen to be. We were in New Orleans. We're going to be in South America, and then I think we're gonna. I don't know where the other guys want to go yet, but there's. I think it's a target-rich environment, the entire Earth.
Yeah. Now,
but
out of
it's in the.
curiosity, how does everybody have a copy of the rules? Though the GM has an old 40-year-old copy of Boot Hill or something?
Well, there was digital releases of all the books, so we have.
Okay.
We have that, and we also have the D20 system too, with all the just all the permutations of the rule systems for the various worlds.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's been a lot of fun playing it. I'm looking forward to running it, and I'll certainly let you guys know how it turns out. So, and then Cinders, what'd you get up to this week?
I was up to quite a few things. So I did go venturing into the old forest through the Cardinal entrance and went fishing with the guys. I was the first one to catch 5 fish. Quite proud of that. And I just barely beat Runt. Just barely, but I beat him. I've also finally acquired all the cooking recipes in Stardew Valley and reached level 10 in combat. That has been a long time coming. And then I downloaded and re-entered the world of Elder Scrolls Online. I'm still not real sure how I feel about it, but it was worth it to be able to spend more time with friends playing in-game. So I got a very a slowed down reintroduction to it from Sans, and I was able to have. She walked me through it at a pace I could understand for combat and tooltips and porting and all those little things that really matter for figuring out what's going on. So that was helpful. But before she logged in, I was just kind of running around and talking to Pine Leaf. And I was like, I'm just standing here on the port, and I don't know how I got here. And I don't know how to get away from here. And I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to unsheath and resheath my weapon. Like. And Pine Leaf was just like, I am updating. I can't tell. And so he was just listening to me explain what I'm doing, which is running up and down the dock.
Updating, yes, because I think I finished updating around midnight my time.
Yeah. I started downloading it on Wednesday night, and it didn't finish re-downloading until sometime early Thursday morning. So Sans helped me out Thursday night after I got done picking my kid up from his choir concert. So yeah, but we'll see how it goes. I'm still playing with the graphics and trying to figure that out.
You got to remember that you could eventually ride a Moomac. A Moomac equivalent.
I know. I was like, I wonder if I even have a steed. And I did. Turns out I have like a red ghost-like horse that's like all misty. It's pretty cool.
You have other
that's pretty
options
cool.
to choose from as well.
Well, I don't know how to find them, so that'll be the next thing. I was totally almost ready to help on Wednesday night. I made an effort, so Wednesday night, Sans will tell you a little bit more about it, but turns out they just needed my presence in voice chat to succeed. because that was about all I was. Moral support, yay! Sands, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. I took my champion to the festival and enjoyed running through the maze. Though then walking outside into the cold air was a juxtaposition. I was like, oh yeah, it's spring in Australia, not here. But that was fun. And I opened some Hobbit presents and did some more crafting as well. And then I ran around in ESO on Wednesday night with Corindus, and we joined the crew. And we managed to kill a tough world boss in Solstice, which was pretty fun. But also a little bit exhausting. And I might have died half a dozen times or more.
I think that's beyond exhaustion, frankly.
Most of those were on the first try. The second try, I only died once. So that was much better. But it was quite the fight. And it was kind of nice to get back in the next day and do something a little bit more leisurely with Cinders. No, it was fun. And also kind of funny to like see where she was and realize what we had been doing and why her character was there. Which eventually she will understand. But yeah, that was pretty funny. So she was in Somerset on the docks still, where we had dropped her off at the end of our last run in trying to unlock the Psijic Order for her, like a couple years ago. So anyway, that was pretty much my week. How was your week, Pineleaf?
All right. My lore master found some friendly dwarves in Mordor. I'm sure nothing bad will come out of that. And the Merry Crew, the Friday Merry Crew, we fought through the Battle of Pelennor Fields. We started just before we rode with the charge as Rohirrim, and then as we finished up the day, we just got to the end of the battle where we're all declaring victory and happy we have won and all that stuff. Well, except for the fact that we still got Mordor might someday decide to make another attack, but, well, this is not the day, right? And my solo mariner started rebuilding Hootbold just to see maybe that perhaps they could consider adding some mariner gear when they up the level cap in the legendary worlds to include Hootbold. Just maybe, please, 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 pretty please. Of course, if they do it, I might be out level for it by then, but that's an entirely different matter. But yeah, still no evidence that Mariners are getting anything for Hootbold yet, but we've got 2 more weeks, right?
Isn't that a completely landlocked place?
Well, that might be why there's no gear there. They couldn't get anything for the Mariners.
Exactly.
Actually,
that's my point.
It's not completely landlocked. I mean, there is at least a creek that flows by there because they have a sawmill. Admittedly, it's hard to get a ship riding down a creek, but that's an entirely different matter.
All of the mariners in the land gather at the creek and reminisce about the sea.
Yeah, we just have this raft taking. Actually, no, they used the logs from the sawmill.
They carve little boats out of twigs and float them down the river.
If you have any feedback you would like to present to us, you can send it to podcast@LOTROplayers.com. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We record LOTRO Players News and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available. You guys choose our shows at LOTROplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Patty Doodles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.